And now let's take a look at what the reactions have been from the three countries that had proposed the listing of Azhar. Remember, it was United States, the United Kingdom and France that had moved the proposal to ban the Jaish chief. Just days after the Pulwama attack, coming first to France, the country has said, and I quote here, "We welcome the designation by the UNSC 1267 Sanctions Committee of Masood Azhar on the UN's ISIL and Al-Qaeda sanctions list." France remains mobilized at all levels and all fora to take effective measures against terrorism. The United States has sought sustained actions from Pakistan following the listing of Masood Azhar. Washington restated that the ban requires all UN member states to implement an assets freeze, a travel ban and an arms embargo against Azhar. It said that it expects all countries to uphold these obligations. This is what a spokesperson of US State Department said, and I am quoting here. "We appreciate Pakistani Prime Minister Khan's stated commitment that Pakistan, for the sake of its future, will not allow the operation of militant and terrorist groups from its territory. We are encouraged by the initial steps taken by the government of Pakistan. We look forward to further and sustained actions from Pakistan as outlined in its National Action Plan and consistent with its international obligations." Coming to the reaction from the United Kingdom, Britain said that the listing was long overdue and that the ban on Azhar is a positive development for the South Asian region. A spokesperson of the UK Foreign and Commonwealth Office said, and I quote, "The UK has consistently called for this action to be taken. We have worked closely with our international partners to ensure the right results." And now let's try and understand this development. Question number one is, what does Azhar's listing signify for India? Experts have said that the listing demonstrates international commitment to rooting out terrorism in Pakistan. It also shows the commitment to bring security and stability in South Asia. With the listing, one hopes that Islamabad will take sustained and irreversible action against Pak-based terror groups. Question number two is, why exactly did China reverse its stand on Masood Azhar? Speaking on the condition of anonymity, a White House official said, and I quote, "I think China seems to have understood that it was increasingly important that its actions on the international stage on terrorism matched its rhetoric. China came to realize that it should match its action on international terrorism. This was the culmination of a 10-year process." The official said maybe China came to the conclusion that it needed to do the right thing or be on the right side. Question number three is about India's role here. Well, it wasn't easy for the world to convince China to support Azhar's listing. It involved some serious diplomatic negotiations on the part of India. Indian Foreign Secretary traveled to China last week. He is said to have given more evidence against the Jaish-e-Mohammad. Question number four is, how did China react to Azhar's ban? China said, and I quote, "Recently, relevant countries revised and resubmitted the materials for the listing proposal to the 1267 committee. After careful study of the revised materials and taking into consideration the opinions of relevant parties concerned, China does not have objections to the listing proposal." Now that we have a fair understanding of all these developments, the fifth and the final question is, what's next? Will the listing help in avoiding re-escalation of tensions between India and Pakistan? Well, experts believe Pakistan can do more to check terror emanating from its soil. US officials say that Pakistan can take steps such as arresting terrorist leaders. Remember, terror groups like the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Haqqani network also operate out of Pakistani soil. Pakistan could also freeze the assets of other terrorists and impose a travel ban on them.